welcome all one more time. Good evening, wherever you are on the face of Africa, in Brazzaville, in Congo, in Nigeria, whether you are in Botswana, you are in Ghana, you are in Mozambique, Zambia, Kenya, Tanzania, Gambia, Seychelles, and whether in Cameroon, on the whole face of Africa. We are excited that you've given us an opportunity again to share some space with you in your own private homes, whether you're watching us on the phone or you're watching us on the TV. We are happy to have you. Your host, Maponga J, your program is Sankofa. Looking backwards at the future, and this Women's Month, we want to close it in style. You know, want to close it in style, having conversations with real people. And I know in many of these TV, more mainstream TVs, about getting celebrities who are well-known, well-celebrated, who now want to say everything about everybody, you know. But on my show, I'm not interested in that. I want to talk to people right on the ground. I want to talk about the real people down on the ground and have an opportunity to have their stories also being heard. And I thought when I was planning this show, how about I bring a collage, you know, a collage, I'm speaking English, a bouquet of different kind of people discussing the same problem. And the issue of women abuse, the issue of men abuse in the modern generation. Where are we coming from? Remember, I introduced you to my thinking tool here. Where are we coming from as Al-Kebulam, as Africans? Where are we now? And where are we going? Are we using our Ubuntu structures of thinking? Are we using the Chinese method of marriages and etc.? Are we using the Northerners, who are the Europeans, methods of marriages and white weddings and rings on our fingers? Or are we using the Western traditions and etc.? And until we understand maybe how we are functioning, how we are thinking, we may end up actually thinking like this, where the African is at the end of the road. Instead of thinking like this, firstly, how are we and who are we as Africans? And then how do we relate to other cultures as we begin to run around the space of the values of men and women, the values of our marriages. The other day I went up to Sandton to look for a pair of shoes, and I found that a pair of shoes was actually going for 18.6 or 18.7 thousand rand. A crocodile skin with some ostrich strips and what a beautiful pair of shoes. And to divorce a wife is 600 rand. Now, a pair of shoes is far much more expensive than a divorce. So marriages, the value of marriages is far, yeah, for 18.5, you can marry I don't know how many times and divorce so many times. There's enough budget for that. But it only goes to say that the value which the community now is putting on families, on relationships, is far much less than the value we are putting on things. Is it possible that our society right now is working on a mode where people are being used instead of people working together? With me is Refilwe and Kgaugelo, beautiful sisters in the house. I want you ladies to go to town to tell me, why do men abuse women? How did we end up here? That a boy who chases you for 2 weeks, I love you, SMS, emojis, some hearts pounding, some rabbits pounding and etc. They send you all sorts of things and they are really after you, you know? Boom, finally you look around and say, I'll think about it. But of course, many times you'll have thought about it already. Yeah? I'll think about it. Finally you say, okay, we can give this thing a try. And of course, I've laughed many times because when you tell a boy, I now agree, he does not know what to do, whether to scratch his head, scratch his toes, stand with one foot or whatever, hug you or kiss you. It becomes a very tense moment. But how does an I love you relationship end up as an abusive relationship? Any one of you can start. How does it happen that men abuse women? And why?
Thank you so much for this opportunity, Bishop. Maybe
you can start off by telling us who is Refilwe, where she's coming from, and what she's doing. Then move over into your.
Okay, my name is Matlhoko. I am doing my master's at the Wits University. I'm also running an NGO, and I'm also an author of Beyond Hopes and Dreams. Yes. So thank you.
That's the last introduction. Can we advertise you out there if someone is looking for a wife?
Definitely.
Or gentlemen, if you're in Ghana, I know you guys from Ghana, from Kenya, from Nigeria, you know, nice hunk with six pack. Please don't come around with the what do you call it?
With the pot belly.
With the pot belly, you know. Then they say when South Africa expands, Lesotho shrinks.
No, thank you very much, Bishop, for this opportunity. You are touching on a very sensitive topic, and the way you put it in a way, you are putting us in a spot to touch the truth and the realities that we are not comfortable with. Firstly, I think it's very important, like you said, to look back from where we are and where we are going. Firstly, we are Africans. We are not Americans. We are not Western people. We are Africans. Now, in Africanism, according to how I understand it, a man is always the head of the house, whether we want to believe it or not. And the way we grew up witnessing our parents and our grandparents with the same, running with the same pattern. A man will always be the head of the house. However, now that we are growing and we are entering into a new era, they call us the Generation X and the Generation Z. We come across, you know, your word of feminism, of it is something foreign. I truly believe that feminism is something foreign. And therefore, we find...
Because we've never had a problem with our women.
Most definitely.
Our queens.
Most definitely. And I believe that with feminism, we are being sold ideas. Now, the problem with this whole feminism issue is that the very same ideas that we are sold, they go against Africanism. And now we ask ourselves, okay, in this era that we are in, and looking back to who we are and how we were raised, actually, are we saying now that we are Africans with Western values? What exactly are we saying, or what is the message are we trying to put across? Because number one, it's very sad that we brutally, to be honest, it's very sad to live a double life. You know, because when you start serving two masters, it becomes a problem. Yes, it becomes a problem because on the other side you are going to be faithful, and on the other side you are going to cheat.
One has to be happy, one has to be sad.
Most definitely. So I think it comes from the root. Firstly, I think that the root, it may be the fact that as women, most of us, we are in denial of our position in the society. Maybe we are fighting too hard to want to be recognized to a point that we lose our basic values as women. So it goes down to
so
say...
you think the battle is on value?
Yes.
Because if a person values you,
yes,
they will not abuse you.
Yes.
But if your value is less,
yes,
then most likely you're going to end up in the hands of an abuser.
Most definitely. Even respect. I believe that as a woman, if you respect yourself, naturally it goes out and you convey the very same respect to the person you are with. I'm not married. I don't know anything about the life of married people. However, I believe that you know, union or being man and woman, it calls for mutual respect. And most importantly, I think you cannot give something that you don't have for yourself. So if you don't have respect for yourself as an individual, it's very difficult to see the importance of respecting another person, because we coexist. I don't just exist in my individuality.
So you mentioned value as an issue. You mentioned lack of respect as another issue.
I think another issue is also identity.
Identity.
Where do we identify ourselves? Because like I said, you cannot be African and you can also...
Well, you guys, can I be blunt also? As a man, as I move over to you, can I be blunt? Many of you guys lie to us. And you lie so much that the woman that I see on the street and I love, she's painted, she's got Indian hair or Peruvian hairpiece, she's got makeup, she's got fake breast. And I saw the other day they're selling fake bums, fake bums. Now, it's the Chinese people that are selling bums to Africa. Now, I'll say that on another show. That who needs these bums? I mean, our women. But I was also told, don't call us our women. But every man says umuntu wami. So women want to call us our men, but apparently we as men are not supposed to be called. Some say our women, because it's patronizing. It's like we own you as property. But every time you have a man in your hands, you say my man. So women want to own, but they don't want to be owned. But that's for another day. Now, you women, allow me to be the devil's advocate. You lie. We meet you in flicking lights, half blue, half white, etc. Dancing and booging in a party. Meanwhile, the teeth are fake, the hair is fake, the eyelashes are fake, the paint on the face is fake. There are pimples and contours that we cannot talk that are there. The breasts are fake. When you take a woman home, she begins to offload the wardrobe. The hairpiece must now go that side, and then you find pulling socks that are holding the hair. The teeth have been whitened. The rest is history. When she washes her face, finally to come and say, this is what you ordered in a disco. the trauma, I think we also need to understand that you traumatize the modern young man. How did we end up here in terms of men abusing women when you guys are trying so hard to sell a perfect picture to us on social media, on Instagram, on whatever, and you're putting all the shades on your pictures before you send them, and someone says, yeah, washa mkuku.
Okay, thank you so much for this opportunity. Ne? Okay, for me, I would say GBV, for me, it's something, like Refilo said, it's identity. I would say it's background. It starts from home. Not all homes, not all households, they go through that, but for me personally, I've experienced something like that. So if
without being too specific, maybe just share some 1 or 2 details, high level.
Okay.
High level.
Okay, growing up, my parents were not seeing things eye to eye. Okay, my dad was the head of the family, but the head was, hey, over the hill at some stage. So growing up, we are all girls at home. So growing up, I had that thing in me that, you know what, I'm not going to allow any man to control me the same way my mother was controlled. I'm not going to allow any man to play on my head the same way my father did to my mother. That's how things have been done. Then I gave birth to a baby boy. Now then, that's when the reality starts. How am I going to...
Now I must be breeding another man.
How am I going to raise this young man not to turn out to be someone, like my father, you know? So I had to make principles for myself. Like, I'm not married as well, but I had to lay ground rules. He's still young. So the motive, how I raise my child, how the things that I teach him is that he must know that another girl that he's going to meet at school or at work as he grows up is his sister. And then they know, and when that person says no, he must respect the no. And as for this...
So you teach your boy, when you also, you must hear no. And when mama says no, it's a no.
Yes, it's a no. That's what I'm teaching him, that he cannot get anything that he wants. There are things that he will get, there are things he will not get. And then there will be boundaries, especially coming to women. Because I do not want to find his future wife or girlfriend or whoever going through what my mother went through. Because that...
Yeah, and the daughter-in-law is phoning me and says, your son.
Yeah, and you know, if at that time, if I will be Mama Zala, I won't see mistake from my son. I'll be like, not my child. I raised him well, you know. But I think that's where the mistake actually starts. We believe that we're doing our utmost best, whereby we miss steps there and there. So personally, this gender-based violence thing, for me, it's background, lack of identity,
lack of identity,
like she
lack
said,
of respect.
like lack of respect. You don't know who you are. You don't know the respect that you demanding respect that you don't have for yourself.
You don't have at all.
You know, so
quickly, abusers and reusers. That's what you're saying. Abusers and reusers. When you find a man that is abusive and etc., in your mind, do you think that's the first time he's doing it?
No,
definitely not. Because as well, you know, at most, I think as women, most of the time, we try and believe that we can change people. I believe that. And I think by trying to believe that you can change a person, you are actually helping perpetuate the struggle. Because I don't think any woman can just say, I can accept that this man.
When the mother failed. And then you think that you can change the person.
And as well, like Kgaugelo was saying, the power of saying no. You know, when she's a mother like I am a mother, when we raise children, we believe that we need to teach them everything that we think is necessary. And I believe that generally each and every mother wishes for their child to know to know that no has a power, and no is a normal answer, just like a yes. And no must not be questioned. When you say no, I must not question you for why.
And none, sometimes you're confusing girls. You say no, but no, but we know. I mean, no. Let's be frank. Remember, this is candid talk.
The stop it, I like it part.
Yeah, you know that kind of thing. So sometimes it sends a wrong message, and I think a no that is emphatic and clear, it will be clear. But if a no is wishy-washy, then it sends a wrong message, and it's misunderstood and that we know. Even when a woman says no, she's just saying push harder. You know, try again until I say yes. So, I don't know.
Because as well, even with our parents, when they say no, and they know that we understand, it must actually have attitude, no, refilo, no. Do you understand what I mean? That's how it normally happens. You know, I've never really came across a parent that say, no, my child, like,
yes.
No, I've never. I'm going to be honest about this. And as
my grandmother never used to say no. When we were sitting in church, she would just look at you with a certain eye, and I knew today my bum is gonna get in trouble.
Most definitely. Most definitely. So it's also very, very sad that we find ourselves in situations where we feel that we are capable of changing people, of which sadly we cannot. You know, they always say that a leopard never loses its spots. Yes. So if he's doing it to you, there's 90% chances that he has done it in the past.
Your response to that?
I also believe that he has.
You also believe that? When you come back after the break, many women think that pastors are not doing a good job. Because apparently pastors call members and they baptize them in the pools of the baptismal pool in the churches. But women think that the waters between their legs are enough to baptize a man and change him. Leave that job to the pastors. When you come back after the break.
Hello. Being a legal practitioner in South Africa in these challenging times demands lawyers that will help clients beyond legal issues. The ever-changing demands in commerce and tourism require lawyers who have sound and clear business and commercial knowledge, and that's where Masechaba Incorporated comes in. Our business, mining, tourism, health, labor, and economic knowledge encapsulated with law and litigation experience gives us an advantage in the legal sphere. Our experience in assisting businesses, government, and various industries with their needs puts us amongst the many progressive and striving law firms in South Africa. Now, to contact our attorneys for assistance with any of the mentioned fields and others, please call us on 012-341-4187 or send us an email on admin@chabangu.co.za. Masechaba Incorporated, where problems meet solutions.
Feel the heat.
I love Adam Selman.
The girls are really thin. I think it looks very glamorous from the outside.
The life of a model in New York City.
There is such cool prints. So many.
You know, I'm buying this.
Look at me and all the selfie sort of thing. Honestly, I didn't really know that was actually a job. It just didn't occur to me.
Congratulations. Feel the excitement. Feel the heat with StarSat. Feel the heat.
Chicken portions are an easy way to feed a crowd.
I've just started to incorporate all my ingredients.
We're going to put this inside of a hot cast iron skillet.
You want to really fill up on great protein.
It's now time to sample the chef's dish. Look at this.
I know.
Like that?
Feel the excitement.
The chicken is on the spot.
Feel the heat with StarSat. Feel the heat.
Do you dream of awesome cartoons filled with funny characters who go on extraordinary adventures?
Everybody ready? Ready!
Hold on, I'm coming! This is absolute genius.
I'm on my way.
I'm ready.
Let's go!
Feel the excitement.
Like it? I love it!
Feel the
Growing up in the streets of Soweto, in the streets of Tembisa, in the greater part of our African communities, boys have a language. Boys have codes. They have things which they tell each other. When things are like this, you must do them like this. When things are like this, you must do them like this. Unfortunately, some of those advices will always end up in how boys, when they grow up and they come into situations, they use that same information that they've been used. For example, if a woman does this, you must clap him. Hey, no woman talks that to me. No, and all this kind of adolescence pep talk. What we don't know is that this conversation, one way or the other, translates itself into now physically using that information to abuse each other. I've invited with me again on the stage today, that is Bongani and Lucky Ramasodi, and Mr. Makua here, Lucky Makua. I want us to have some street talk, some street language talk. Why do common boys abuse girls? Why? And women?
Yeah, I think
most of the time, like normally I call them wigglings. When you can engage a woman like verbally, you express yourself physically. Yes, I think that's so my thinking tells me that a real man is either boyfriend,
girlfriend,
no, get boyfriend, uncle or father will never lay a hand or hurt or abuse a woman. So yeah.
And you,
So, yeah.
on your side?
Let me start by introducing myself. So it's Bongani here, and then I'm from Pretoria. So that's a Kasi as well.
That's the real Kasi.
Atteridgeville.
Atteridgeville.
I'm not the Shanye, I'm a Pitor.
I'm a Pitor. Sure. And you come with your own language also. It's Pitor.
Yeah, it's a country on its own thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So okay. So on that,
what do you say to each other as young boys growing up when it comes to women? And don't try to be smart, because I'll catch you.
So yeah, I believe that it's a talk that we get on the street. So I'd call it a societal problem rather. So we get to an area where we get guys sitting on the street or something. Yeah. And then
there's some conversation there.
Some conversations there. So normally what we tell each other as boys, it's that women should respect us, or girlfriend should respect us, and we interpret respect as love. So when they say I love you, we don't really.
Because the lady was saying actually there's lack of respect. You guys are coming looking for that very same thing. You want respect, and according to a man, there's nothing called love. Love is respect.
It's respect.
Jesus.
Yes.
This is so complicated now.
So if you give me respect, I'll interpret that as love. As love. You see. So now you get to a lady, and then you converse about. Maybe you're having an argument or something, but then you don't get, you guys don't have the same vision. So you say, she doesn't respect me. And then you...
And what do you tell each other? When she does not respect you, what must you do?
If you just need to at least give her a slap.
So that she can respect.
She respects you.
Okay.
You see.
So you evoke the respect.
Evoke the respect from deeper. Wait.
I like your openness. I like your openness.
So, but then it shouldn't be the case.
No, don't justify it. We'll come back to that. I understand.
So,
let's start there for now, because I want us to exhaust that part.
Okay.
So then, if a woman lacks the respect, it's a common street language.
It's a common street language.
And just small little slap.
Psychology.
Then she will respect.
Yes.
And so when a boy is slapping a girl, according to the streets, it's not that he hates the woman,
no,
but he's expressing love.
Yeah.
Wow. You buy a car for a woman, you're paying 15,000 on the car every month, and then you find another boy driving your car, quote unquote, which you buy for the woman. How would you respond?
Obviously, I will be crazy.
Crazy. Define crazy.
I'll be crazy. Like I can sponsor, provide my girlfriend with something. Then Jiggy's peace with other men with my property. The one that I'm working hard to.
So you believe when you buy a gift for a woman, it's a property that you have given to her, and it must be used between you and her. And when she's using for someone else, you lose your head.
Yeah, even she can even use to she can even use with his her friends, but not cheap.
Not a boyfriend.
Not another.
You are the one who's buying airtime.
Yeah.
And then she's calling another boy with your airtime.
So obviously I go crazy as well.
You're paying rent in a flat in town, and another man is coming to your flat when you are away on a project.
It's a disrespect. It's a disrespect that we're talking about.
You buy a hairpiece for a girlfriend, and she ends up in a disco with dancing with other boys.
Yeah.
Talk to me.
It's a disrespect. So I wouldn't.
It's disrespect according to you.
It's a disrespect. It's a disrespect, and you need to understand that as boys. You doing that because you value that girl. So it's more like you're giving
value.
Her a value.
So now they spoke about respect and they spoke about value. So that women don't value themselves. Now you also guys are coming up with the same two words, value and respect. And according to you, when you do something for her,
you value her.
That's respect.
So
when you do something for her, that's value for her.
She doesn't appreciate.
She's not appreciating.
She's not appreciating.
Yeah, like when you're providing, it's a love. Automatically, it's a love. Like I'm providing. So we have to work to each other. Like I provide, you respect.
Let's work on some solutions. That's where you were hurrying to. We've looked at maybe 1 or 2 or 3, 4 scenarios that are deliberately created to show you the environment in which abuse starts brewing in. And this is at boyfriend and girlfriend level. I've not even gone yet to marital spaces where maybe it would be further away from you, and I don't want to put you in that deep end as to what other things happen in the marriage space when you are angry with your child and the wife says, and you have paid school fees for the past 10 years, 15 years, and the woman walks up and says, don't touch that one, it's not your child. And the woman says that, is she lying or is she saying the truth? You can never know until you've been to the doctors for DNAs. But these kind of things are happening. And at the end of the day, when we see the amount of respect, the amount of abuse that is going in the community, by no ways are we justifying that. We're just trying to become open and candid on those issues. How do you think modern boys and girls, modern young men and women must begin to treat each other? Because what we have spoken about is happening. How do we go about it?
Yeah, I think we can start by understanding the patriarchal society, patriarchy. Yeah, normally in a patriarchal society, we can say a man is the
head of the house.
Yeah, is the head of the house, but we don't have to abuse that title.
Okay.
Yes. So, it must start from the understanding, teaching it. Yeah,
but in as much as you're talking patriarchy, the government is talking women empowerment. Yeah. So the patriarchy remains an idol. It remains an ideology, which is being propagated
to our culture.
Which is being propagated by the churches that God, Father, Father, Son, all disciples, male, male, male. But when it comes to the government policy, it is actually favoring women. So how does the patriarchy, which is more or less societally driven, and the legislative, which is women empowerment, how do these things conflict in terms of relationship dynamics?
So let me, before I can go there, I'll just say when we're looking for solutions, let's start at looking at the root causes for the talks that we get at the gassy streets and all of that. So the root causes, one of the root causes would be that some people are angry with themselves. So as one of my colleagues has just said, she said that it starts at home or from the family. So some people are angry with themselves. They didn't grow up. They grew up seeing their fathers doing hitting their mothers and all of those things. So they grew up with that. So they need to at least have someone to talk to. You need to at least cough out that thing that you grew up with, and then once you at least start talking about it. Once you start talking about it, at least you get to places like organizations.
Let me throw another curveball.
Power.
You hear that your sister is being beaten by the husband.
That's why I was saying when you are growing up, we must understand our culture. Like what our culture says about the relationship and everything. How should we grow? How should we be happy in our relationship? Because normally you can go on the street and find a boyfriend who grew up in a family that the parents were abusive. That automatically that young man will try to control will try to be in charge in that relationship, because he abuse is a learned,
it's a learned behavior.
Yeah, it's a learned behavior. Yes.
Your sister is being beaten by a boyfriend. What do you do? Kasi language. Don't worry. Just we're big cars.
Yeah.
Utole your own sister on the streets.
Yeah, so I wouldn't like that.
You are going to?
I'm going to try by all means to protect.
So a boy does not want his sister to be abused by another man.
By another man.
But when another sister, who is your girlfriend, does things that you don't agree with, the caste thing says, slap him hanyana to induce respect. How do you balance those two? Because what you are doing to others, you don't want it done to you.
So I'd say that's where the father figure has to come in. So fathers at home has to teach these young daughters how the Kasi street is saying. So you don't want, as a father, you don't want your daughter to be beaten outside. So rather talk to her at home. So I'd say that's where the father figure has to come in.
Your response?
Yeah, like I was saying, like it starts from home. Like when I see my sister being like when my sister is in an abusive relationship, obviously I will try to maybe talk to him. I will encourage a breakup. Yeah. You
encourage a breakup?
I will encourage a breakup.
Give me your last parting shots in terms of your advice to fellow young men out there. Now you are out of the woods now. You can speak as yourself now. If you had a chance of talking to the African youth, the African young men, how old are you now?
I'm 22.
The young man is Mvanapa is 22 years old. Untate Ramasodi is 22 years old. Give them some advice to some 22-year-old boys on how they should treat their girlfriends and how they should treat women.
Let's stop entertaining what we get at the Kasi streets.
Right, I like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's as much as, and talk about things that are bothering us rather than keeping them in within ourselves, so that when they heat up, we're gonna start slapping and.
It's not a way of solving things.
It's not the way of solving.
Your advice to other young men out there?
A real man with a good state of mind will never abuse a woman. So we must learn from that statement. So yeah, that real man will never abuse a woman emotionally, physically, or sexually, or otherwise. So we must even talk to our parents and ask a lot. I mean, we have to watch the shows about gender-based violence and everything, so we can learn from.
Learn and grow.
Yeah.
Some of our women out there, they go out and get love potions from witch doctors. They get love potions from sangomas, and they concoct them for their husbands. And when these medicines expire, apparently anger breeds up, resulting in femicides and death and etc. When you come back after the break, we look at the spirituality of abuse and how women, what is it that we could have done better in terms of developing and maintaining good relationships in the community. Don't go away, just after the break.
Hello. Being a legal practitioner in South Africa in these challenging times demands lawyers that will help clients beyond legal issues. The ever-changing demands in commerce and tourism require lawyers who have sound and clear business and commercial knowledge, and that's where Masechaba Incorporated comes in. Our business, mining, tourism, health, labor, and economic knowledge encapsulated with law and litigation experience gives us an advantage in the legal sphere. Our experience in assisting businesses, government, and various industries with their needs puts us amongst the many progressive and striving law firms in South Africa. Now, to contact our attorneys for assistance with any of the mentioned fields and others, please call us on 012-341-4187 or send us an email on admin@chabangu.co.za. Masechaba Incorporated, where problems meet solutions.
Feel the heat.
I love Adam Selman.
The girls are really thin. I think it looks very glamorous from the outside.
The life of a model in New York City.
There is such cool prints. So many.
You know, I'm buying this.
Look at me and all the selfie sort of thing. Honestly, I didn't really know that was actually a job. It just didn't occur to me.
Congratulations.
Feel the excitement. Feel the heat with StarSat. Feel the heat.
Chicken portions are an easy way to feed a crowd.
I've just started to incorporate all my ingredients.
We're gonna put this inside of a hot cast iron skillet.
You want to really fill up on great protein.
It's now time to sample the chef's dish. Look at this.
I know.
Like that?
Feel the excitement.
Michigan is on the spot.
Feel the heat with StarSat. Feel the heat.
Do you dream of awesome cartoons filled with funny characters who go on extraordinary adventures?
Everybody ready? Ready!
Hold on, I'm coming.
This is absolute genius.
I'm on my way.
I'm ready. Titans, go!
Feel the excitement.
Like it? I love it.
Feel the heat with StarSat. Feel the heat. Feel the excitement. Feel the heat with StarSat. Feel the heat.
Just watch this. Let the pictures tell you everything.
It's all the way through!
Oh, what about that? That was really special. Those are the moments that supporters will remember.
Feel the excitement.
That was delightful!
Feel the heat with StarSat.
Violence and sexual abuse against children has become a major social challenge during the COVID-19 lockdown. We appeal to adults, parents and caregivers to be kind towards children during this lockdown and beyond. Give children the space they need to engage with their reading and learning activities. Do not hit them. Do not yell at them. They are equally frustrated. We urge you to listen, support and help the children to survive the COVID-19 lockdown. Report immediately any incident of sexual abuse. The Department of Basic Education. Every child is a national asset.
Welcome one, welcome all, and welcome back again to your show here on Sankofa, discussing the issues of GBV, gender-based violence. Remember, this is a two-way. Men abusing women, women abusing men. I want us maybe to move over to a higher level of the spirituality of relationships, the spirituality of you saying yes to a man, the spirituality of understanding the man behind the man, the woman behind the woman, the relationships. Are they just on what we are seeing on the streets? Is there something more to a relationship than what you are seeing on the street? What is uniting? Are you just uniting fleshes? You are uniting budgets? You are uniting families? Or you are uniting spirits? And you ladies, and I've known you both to be operating in that wavelength. So I want maybe to move your advice more into a spiritual advice for modern women. What is it that we could have done right to get this equation proper, to avoid the pandemic that we now have, which includes femicide, which includes women abuse, which includes men abuse, which includes child abuse, which includes jumping from one relationship to another, trying to what? At the end of the day, even 10 husbands later, you still find a woman singing, but I still haven't found what I'm looking for. And you wonder, what are you looking for? Are you at Bermuda Island with no harbor where people can harbor? Many ships have come on dock here, but none of them can understand you. Over to you, ladies. How must relationships be done as we are focusing particularly on the issues of gender-based violence?
Okay, I'll start with introducing myself. My name is Kgaugelo Matlhoko, and this is a very interesting topic. You need to know who you are as a woman before you even give yourself a chance to, get into dating. Know who you are. I mean, who are you spiritually, right? Each and every one of us have a purpose to serve, especially as women. We have different gifts to serve. So if you don't understand who you are, the person that you bring, you'll have no idea what are you bringing on the table. But if you know who you are, you'll definitely attract someone who aligns with your purpose as a woman, and it will be easy for you to serve your purpose in his life, and you'll be able to actually build and expand his empire, because what you guys are building together is in alignment with what he is building as an individual. So as a woman, you need to know who you are spiritually for you to be able
to engage,
to even serve your purpose in his life. Because we are not only going to be kissing, making babies and all that. There's a role bigger than that we need to play, right? When you get into another family as a woman, you are not only going there to be called Magotis just so that everyone knows that you are married into that family. You are there to serve a purpose. There's a puzzle that you need to fit to make sure that that clan grows. Be it, expanding by, giving birth to actually, kids and growing the family. That's one aspect of it. The other aspect is, as a woman, you really need to build that family.
Build that family.
Build that family. How do you build? You need to understand the dynamics of that man's family. So a relationship is way beyond than I love you, I love you.
Do you think modern girls understand what you're saying?
They don't. And sometimes we get into, we wonder why our relationship fails. It fails simply because we are not aligned. We come from different backgrounds. That's a fact. We come from different backgrounds, and we find out our cultures differs, our spirituality differs. So when I just get into a relationship with a man who I don't know, I actually don't know where he comes from, it becomes a problem in a sense that I will actually find myself confused. Not only confused, in a space that I can't breathe simply because I don't even know what am I doing there. I feel suffocated. I can't even, serve my purpose.
And you jump from that relationship into another one.
You
suffocate again. You suffocate again. Bridget, your contribution.
I want to build on what she is saying. I think it starts also when you start a relationship. Get to know the passage that man comes from. Get to know it first, which is the mother of this man. Because now, if you are not connecting with that woman spiritually, and when you meet, already somewhere along the line you are doomed. When you go into another family, you need to know what is my purpose? What am I going to do? What am I going to change in that family? Firstly. Now, if I say I love you, okay, what is love? What is it that I love about you? Do I love myself enough to say I love you? Do I respect myself enough to say I am going to respect you? I am going to submit under you. What is submission? Because of now submission has been diluted. That's why it has cost the GBV. Because of now, in the churches, when they speak about submission is be a doormat. As a woman, you need to submit under this authority of this man. But submission is something totally different. Because we are equal when it comes to Father Yahweh. We are both spirit.
There's no spirit less than the other.
There isn't any. But then now, it has been made into a society that as a woman, you just need to say, Yebo Baba, Yebo Baba.
And going back to what she's saying about submission, what are you submitting to as a woman? It goes back to, do you know the person that you love? It's just that fascination of emotions right now, like you feel like, okay, he's attractive, then I love him. Do you know where he comes from? Do you know his spirituality? Because the moment you submit, you don't only submit to other ideology or be a doormat. You are submitting to his way of doing things.
And
you are submitting to their own culture. Exactly.
Because if they say in this family,
we don't do this.
We don't do this. You're not gonna do it. If they say now, Mama Zalawa how onamela lifielo at night, you must do the same because of now you are inheriting this. Remember now you are inheriting all their ancestors, all their curses, all their traditions,
and you're going to reproduce them.
All their rituals. You are inheriting.
And you're going to birth them.
You're going to birth them one way or the other because of now you are in that family. You're saying, I'm taking everything. When I say I love you, I'm taking everything of yours. So I mustn't be surprised when I see my children go through the very same things that I've inherited in that family. And now for me, again, it's another thing because of I've got my own things that I'm coming from my family. And then I've got these ones now. So now it's a combination. Yeah. It's a jungle.
Let's move to the deeper end. I want us to get there. Is it your submission that relationships must unite firstly at a spiritual level before they unite at a physical level? And if they do so, what are the advantages and the benefits of spiritual alignment prior to physical engagement?
Well, I believe we should really align spiritually first. And there are many ways of doing that, communication. And don't just come up with conversations that where do you come from? Like, we need to get deeper.
What's your favorite color?
You know, I don't want
What's
that.
your favorite color?
I want to understand what kind of an African are you? What is your culture? What do you, when you come across some certain situation, what do you do? When your child is sick, how are you going to deal with the matter? Are we taking him?
What do you do with the placenta of the child after
what
they are
do you
born?
do with it? We want to know. So that's why you learn, okay, I align or I don't align. Because once you say I do, that means even when you guys have children, that's what you are going to do.
Wow.
So spiritual alignment first. And that means that we must have real conversations, not the ones we see on TV.
Bridget, I want you to pick up on that.
Yes.
When she's saying real conversations, what could be the attributing factors of a real conversation?
The real conversations is, what is your totem? Firstly, let's start there. What is your totem? That I know.
What is your totem?
If you are serving the marine spirit, then I know that obviously what I will be dealing with.
We're dealing with the waters here.
I'm dealing with the waters here. When they say it's Ngwenya, I know very well that
I have a crocodile here.
I have a crocodile here.
In Ndlovu.
In Ndlovu. I have
this. An elephant,
you know,
here.
I've got all the jungle. I know how this.
They are going to be bullying and walking and trampling and walking over
and
everything.
What element?
And if you have a monkey like myself, you're gonna be climbing trees.
And all those things, you need to know them. Even
totem.
Okay, totem, that's the first thing. And then after that, in your totem, then when we get married, what are you guys going to do to me? Let's say now I am, I say Kimzalwani. Now I don't do all these rituals. And then you come with your monkeyness and you say, but with me. We're going to baptize you with blood.
We climb trees here.
We climb trees and you're going to be baptized with blood.
And in most cases...
And then what? And then I say, but I cannot do that because then what am I doing with you if I'm not going to do it?
And how did we even end up there?
Well, how did we end up there? Because these are
what you're saying, why I'm pushing for real conversations is because these things that we avoid talking about. When we are still sending each other emojis.
The love letters and all that.
Those rabbits and that are pumping around. Those things don't build homes.
That's so true.
Because at the end of the day, these things we're talking about, usually you want to have this conversation. You are 6 months pregnant. Then you want to start talking.
You can't have
like how many
the
women
child is 2 years old. Then where do you come from? What's your and the question is, why do you wait until you are in the deep end to begin to ask questions? We should have asked in the beginning.
And many women are struggling with that. And you find our marriage are no longer existing, but that child is carrying whatever, you know, spirits or whatever. Like when you say I do, remember, yes, but there's a ritual that we need to do for him, whether you are divorced or not. Those are some of the things that at the end of the day, women end up carrying so much baggage. We have women, they don't talk about such things right now.
I have seen
they
women
don't.
going to put on black clothes from their ex-husbands.
Imagine.
Because it is a tradition that you were not divorced properly. At the end of the day, munao haho ushwide. You are the mother of the children here at home. We still recognize you as Makoti. Now imagine you are now married to another man, yet you are mourning another man that you have divorced, and culturally you are tied. You may refuse and say, I don't want the thing, but you are bound. The question is, why do women wait that long to have the spiritual conversations instead of spending 18 hours in a saloon putting single dreads to look nice? Why can't you take 2 hours to have the real conversation?
You know, I think we also killed it when we stopped taking advice from the older women. In the olden days, they will sit you down. Let me take it biblically, like Queen Hadassah, Esther. When she was getting, she was there for 6 months. She was being pampered, trained,
introduced to the ways of the king.
To the ways of the kings and how to satisfy the king.
Even mentality.
Ruth said to Naomi, go and wash yourself. Prepared her to go to the threshing floor. She said, go and wash yourself. Put on a perfume. And a white
Smell nice as a
garment
woman.
smell nice
Hey,
as a woman.
Some women, they pass by you and you go, hey! It looks like
As a woman.
the truck that is getting all the junk from town has walked past here. Smell nice.
Smell nice.
I like that
if
part there.
we take it from the biblical part and then we put it now you are in your bedroom. Put on your lingerie.
Yeah.
No, put your best perfume. Have your own lotion that you're going to use. And you know, when you prepare yourself to go to your threshing floor, what is so
this
difficult
is getting heated
about
up now. We are in the threshing floors. Now this is serious language. Now I hear, because I was blessed with 4 ears, 2 outside and 2 inside. You know, when you're going to the threshing floors, I'm hearing lingeries being suggested, private lotions being spoken about, and perfumes. You know, you cannot make your small little bedroom place sound like a pigsty. But these are the things, of course. If they can see beautiful things and smelling things nice outside, why must you come to a smelling, stinky place and you stay at home? You know what I'm saying? But another thing that I want us to address, I know our time is running out. A woman in them cuckoos, poor woman with nothing, can drag a man from a palace and make her a husband. The man comes, it's a dish of water. Hello, my sweetie, how are you? Here's some water to wash your feet.
She'll be kneeling down next
water. You go to the house there and the woman is going, hey, where? No. Hey, where? No. And the man is busy trying to follow the finger to see where the finger is going and where it will end up. What do you think will have happened in those relationships where women think that once you have a man in your hands or once you have a woman in your hands, you no longer need to do anything because you have already caught the fish. It's in the pan. So you don't need to worry about them and etc. How does spiritual alignment actually translate itself into physical manifestations?
Let's take it from Sarah. She was calling Abraham my master, my king. She served him and respected. She did not do much. She did not use muti, any portions. She was herself because her aroma, her prayer life, kept that man, and that man in a way submitted also to her because he was listening to her. That's the same way as the Mukuku lady is able to capture a man that comes out of a mansion because of now I'm big-headed, so I'm thinking, you know what, I've got you and there's nothing you can do, so I've got what I want. So what? You are here anyway.
You're sitting on your house, the woman is going like this on Facebook. Sarah! Sarah,
you can't even serve your man anymore. You know, I think if we start learning the meaning of, let me wash your feet. What is there? What is it that I'm doing when I come to you as a man and I want to wash your feet? Or you are washing my feet? Let's get to that. What is happening there? What exchange is happening there?
And on the same thing, I don't want also to end up hammering women. And we forget the men, because we understand what women must be doing. As men of the community conversations always ends up about the community, clobbering women must. I want us to come to the other side also, in terms of the responsibility of men to create the environment where women can actually flourish and be able to perform those very tasks. I know a man, for example, once, the woman cut newspapers and put in the plate and says, there you eat. Because that's all he came to the house with, was a newspaper. And when he gets into his lounge, sits, put his feet on the thing, and he starts reading his newspaper. And this woman one morning wakes up and says, hey, I've had enough of this man. That's all you bring is a newspaper. You can have newspaper for dinner.
Imagine.
So what is the role of women, of men also creating, in modern language, a conducive environment where a woman can be able to flourish and become this woman that you're talking about?
Nowadays, let me speak of nowadays to say most men don't know who they are. They don't even know.
Goes back to identity again.
Yes, back to identity. They don't know who. Like as women, we find it hard to submit to someone
who does not submit to himself or to God.
Who
or to
doesn't
anybody.
know who he is. Because when I submit to you, I'm submitting to what you are submitting to. So if you yourself, I have to teach you what to submit to. Like you are actually frustrating me. Confusion is bad. You are frustrating me. You are giving me a position that I'm not supposed to be even, serving. I should be submitting. You should be knowing who you are. You should be leadership. How are you going to lead me if you don't even know how to lead yourself? It becomes very, very difficult. So it's frustrating to find, as a woman married to such kind of a man who's easily dragged by, when he hears this, he's just go all over the place. It becomes a problem. So the other problem is identity. As a man, know who you are. So that when you approach a woman, you make it easy for her to submit to who you are. Because we look at who you are, your identity. Because when I say I do to you,
But by the way, on the issue of I do, I've always had a problem. Because when you come to marriages, they say I do. Then they say I do. But no one has ever spoken, what are we going to do? Because apparently the whole marriage is I do. What are you going to be doing? Yes. But another question that is actually ringing in the back of my head is, why is that when women get into menopause? I know this is way out of your league, but maybe you can just give me a small little trick. Why are you, when women get into menopause, they have children, they have grandchildren, and literally they no longer care about their husbands?
That's a tough one, but
you find these women now become strong. The man is thrown from pillar, and the man must be running behind this woman now. It's almost like, we even in church the other day they announced, can all the men stand? This other one remain seated. But we're not doing, why are you still sitting down? I said, I'm still waiting for madame to tell me whether to stand or to sit down,
That's abuse.
Yeah, that's abuse right there.
I think if we go back to when we say I do and we are in marriage relationship, we're there to complement each other. We are not there to compete against each other. Because now you look at the element of men and you find, I cannot expect love from you if you don't know what is love. You have never received love from home. You come from a fatherless family, and probably you were also molested when in your childhood. A lot of things happened to you. And now I get into the picture. I really do not know the demons that you were dealing with as you were coming. Now you want me to be a mother. I need to play that part of being a mother, a father, a sister, and this and this and this to you. Now it is no longer a marriage when it comes to it's a burden now.
It's a psychological word now.
So
this man is counseling.
And men like that find themselves insecure.
Sometimes you women, you get into relationships because you want to become a nurse, you want to become a mother, you want to fix a problem, and then you work on the problem. When the problem is finally fixed, the question is, what makes you think that I still need you as a nurse? Because now I'm okay.
Discharge.
Now I'm sad, Because I'm fine now. I'm sorted. So maybe sometimes you plug in a relationship at the wrong angle, where you think that you can fix issues. Your last comments, your advice to women out there in exactly less than 20 seconds. What are you going to be telling women out there?
Well, as women, you need to know who you are. Like, you need to know who you are spiritual, so that you are able to serve your purpose into the world.
Madam?
Women know that everything is fixed through prayer, because nothing beats the prayer. When you go to your threshing floor, you'll not get up without Father Yahweh saying anything to you. He will give you the mandate, he'll give you the structure, he'll give you the solutions. You'll never come back empty-handed. So always go on your knees, you'll come back with your answer.
Private conversations will always lead you to public appearances. Here on your show on Sunday, it's going to get heavy in here. I'm going to take you through the rituals of African spirituality with Gogo Tsebi on Sunday. From Ukupahla to burning incense to doing things in our own homes. What do these things talk about on Sunday from 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock in the afternoon? I'm going to be missing that show here. Your host, and thank you very much to my guests who have popped in, all 6 of them. Thank you. I really appreciate them, and we will be calling you again as we're having the further conversation from your host here, Maponga Jeji Garamboko Garamashamba Huda, Chiranavana Vanjibo, Hovana Chigarama, Matanda Novora, Tizibu Chitazan Bana Manga, Tambana. Mtamburu paruare bafuriye mangura na vacheruvayo wiramitia sose. Until you see again, don't do what I wouldn't do. If you decide to do it better.